I'm telling you, it was 11:47 p.m. last night when it happened. I was driving for Uber, just trying to make some extra cash, and this guy gets in at the corner of Elm and 5th. He's dressed in all black, which isn't weird or anything, but he's got this vibe, you know? He gives me my own home address, 1423 Oakwood Drive, and I'm thinking maybe he's a friend of a friend or something. I look in the rearview mirror, and I could swear he's just staring at me, his eyes all empty and creepy. But when I look again, the back seat is empty. I'm alone in the car. I've been driving for Uber for a few months now, and it's been pretty chill. I mean, you get the occasional weirdo, but most people are just trying to get from point A to point B. I've had my fair share of late nights, but I've never had anything too out of the ordinary happen. Last night was different, though. It started when I picked up this guy. He got in, and I asked him where he was headed, and he just gave me my own address. I thought maybe it was some kind of prank, but then I looked in the mirror, and like I said, he was just staring at me. I tried to brush it off, thinking maybe I was just tired or something. I've been driving for hours, and it was getting pretty late. The streets were empty, and the only sound was the hum of my engine and the occasional passerby on the sidewalk. As I kept driving, I started to feel this creeping sense of dread. It was like someone was watching me, but every time I looked around, there was no one there. I tried to tell myself it was just my imagination, that I was just spooked because of the empty streets and the dark. But honestly, it was freaking me out. I started to notice little things like the way the shadows on the sidewalk seemed to move when I drove by, or the way the streetlights seemed to flicker in time with my heartbeat. I know this sounds crazy, but it was like the city itself was trying to tell me something. I turned up the radio, trying to distract myself from the feeling of being watched, but all I could find were static-filled stations or weird, obscure podcasts. One of them was playing this creepy ambient music, all distorted and pulsing, and it just added to the overall sense of unease. I started to feel like I was driving through a nightmare, like everything around me was twisted and wrong. The smell of the city, usually just a mix of exhaust and food from the restaurants, started to smell like something was burning, like someone had left a cigarette smoldering on the sidewalk. I tried to shake off the feeling, telling myself I was just being paranoid. But then I started to notice that my GPS was taking me on this weird route, all through the back streets and alleys of the city. I've driven these streets a million times, but last night, they seemed different. The buildings seemed taller, the shadows deeper, and the silence was oppressive. It was like I was being herded towards some unknown destination, like I was a rat in a maze. I looked in the mirror again, and for a split second, I could swear I saw the guy's face staring back at me. But when I looked again, it was just my own reflection, distorted and twisted in the glass. I started to wonder if I was losing my mind, if the lack of sleep and the stress of driving were finally getting to me. And then I saw it. My house, 1423 Oakwood Drive. I pulled up to the curb and just sat there, staring at the dark windows. The house was empty, but it felt like something was waiting for me inside. I didn't get out of the car, I just sat there, my heart pounding in my chest. The silence was deafening. The only sound the creaking of the trees in the wind. I felt like I was being summoned, like something was calling to me from inside the house. I know this sounds crazy, but I swear I heard my own voice whispering in my ear, telling me to get out of the car, to go inside. I'm still sitting here, my engine's still running, my heart's still racing, and I'm wondering what's waiting for me inside my own home. And now I'm starting to think that I'm not alone.